All right, welcome back to season 7 of our show, and today it is chuck roast for the holidays. We're coming at you early with a beautiful chuck roast slash shoulder clod and showing you how to get it done for the holidays. So right here we have a 30-pound chuck roast. This is a big boy. Now what we did is we tied it up, we trussed it. The type of trussing we used just to get something like this tied up was a linen truss. Take a look at this. This is your regular twine. So this is cotton, but it's not going to hold up to something like this. I mean, we're moving it around, we're putting it up to some stress, and the last thing you want to do is break the trussing on it while you're doing it. All we're doing is keeping the shape of this roast. Let's take a look at the other side. It's tied up nicely, so everything is going to cook in. So this is what you want to do. Now you could do this in your oven. Today we're doing it on a kettle grill, but an oven, this is where you're going to need to tie it up because you're not going to have the room if you're going on a grill with it. Now we're cooking this hot and we're cooking this extremely fast. This is going to be cooking around 300 degrees and we're going to have 6 hours into this roast. We're going to take it out, baste it, and in the oven it goes. We're going to end the smoke process and we're going to cook it straight through as we'll show you. Let's talk about seasoning. Salt, pepper, always. Now at this point, if you're going on your grill with this, you could stop at just the salt. You don't have to have anything else. Pick a beautiful wood and let the wood do its job. If you're going in an oven with it, you're going to need some spices. So pepper. And all these ingredients, make them yours. You don't have to go on with anything. I know people that put this piece of meat in their ovens or on their smoker and they don't put a thing on it. Here's a rub. Onion powder, garlic powder, paprika. A real good one. We got a Hungarian one coming at you. So we're just gonna hit it with a good amount of that. I'm spilling a lot of it onto the tray so we can get the sides. We'll roll it over. But the salt, it is very important that you really salt this thing. It's a big piece of meat, so don't skimp on the salt. Here's some avocado oil. Oil it. Now a lot of people always ask me, why do you put the oil on last? Well, that seasoning is going to set into the meat, and you don't want to repel all that seasoning, right, by putting the oil on. So put the oil on last and rub it in. Now normally I would put all this on and just let it sit first before I put the oil on, but today for TV land we're showing you this. So you will put your spices on, let them sit in, and then oil it right before it goes onto the grill or goes into your oven. And that's going to set the color for you as well too. You get a nice bark on this. Let's flip this over and then we're going to repeat on the other side. So lots and lots of salt, just like that. And don't be scared to put that salt. I know it looks like a lot, but it's really not. On the ends of the meat you can kind of let off because you can see it's not as thick as this end. So on the smaller parts, just let off. Ready to get this in, rub it in real good. Go in with the black pepper. And there you have it. So just rub it in real good and then repeat with your seasonings. Whatever seasonings that you like. If you're going in the oven with this, maybe I would let this sit for about 3 or 4 days, just sitting just like this before you even go into the oven with it. You might want to take a big pan and brown it up before it goes in your oven. Even though you can put it in just like this, but by browning it brings up the caramelization, and caramelization equals flavor. So you always want to caramelize something like this before you go in your oven with it. Get a good sear on it, put it on a pan, and then straight into the oven it goes for the holidays. Alright, so here's the seasoning on the pan. I'm just going to kind of put those in the middle and just roll it over. Roll the sides in it. Just like that. And we're going to hit these sides. You know, 30 pounds, you got to have good grip on this thing. All right, that's it. That's all she wrote. All right, so we're going to put this in the fridge, go overnight with it. Now we're cooking this on a kettle. That's right, we're cooking it on a kettle. And it's going to be really close to the fire. And we're going to show you how to handle that too, so you don't burn this thing up. You got a lot of money into this piece of meat, so the last thing you want to do is ruin your holiday and burn up an expensive piece of meat like this. We'll see you tomorrow. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, we're rolling at 300 degrees. Time to get it on. Oof, nice smoky fire. Now you guys are doing the same thing with this if you're going in your oven. So we're just gonna get this on, just like that. We got a nice, beautiful fit. See, this is why we tied it up. See that? There's nothing hanging over, and it's just gonna cook in beautifully. And that's what you're looking for. All right, we're gonna close up, let this roll for about 3 hours and baste it after the first hour, that is. And you're gonna do the same thing in your oven. So you're gonna let this go for the first 3 hours, then you're gonna baste it, and then you're gonna close your oven door back. I'll meet you back here. Stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, time to mist this. Now I want 2 hours because this meat didn't look like it was ready for basting yet. It had a lot of moisture, and when things start to look a little bit on the dry side, I'll mist it. So you don't have to actually go exactly an hour into it, just basically mist it or baste it when the meat looks like it needs it. So we're going in, apple cider vinegar, cool my fire down a bit. This is a 50-50 mixture of apple cider vinegar and water. That's it, we're closing up. I'll meet you back here, don't go anywhere. All right, it's time to baste this. What I normally do is I shut down the top of this, and then I go to baste. By shutting down the top, when this fire gets crazy, it'll just cool right back down so you don't forget. And then you can open back up. So here we go. That's looking right. I think I'm gonna go probably another 30 minutes with this. It's gonna make it an even 6 hours straight. That's it. We're gonna take it off, get it wrapped up, and in the oven she goes. So stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, time to pull this. 6 hours and 22 minutes, that's what I'm pulling this at. I like the color, it's looking right. Ooh, it's a big boy. All right, there you have it. So we're gonna take this inside and get it wrapped, and in the oven it goes. We'll meet you inside. All right, this big boy is off the cooker. Let's get it wrapped. All right, so for this wrap, you're gonna need some white wine. Now, I use the wine just to bring out a little bit of moisture in the meat. Just a little bit, you just need a drizzle of it, just like that. And the meat's gonna bring out its own moisture, but we need a little bit down at the bottom just to bring that moisture out of it. We're gonna use plastic wrap. We got aluminum foil, and we got parchment paper. So the waxy side of the parchment paper goes over the meat, like that. Let's just tuck it in. There we go. Followed by some plastic wrap. That's right, plastic wrap. And don't worry, it will not burn in the oven. So we're gonna go right over. Rip and tuck. So just like that. Pull it around the sides. Swing it around. Just like that. And then we got aluminum. Right over the top. And it doesn't get any more simple and easier than that. You're gonna have the juiciest roast during the holiday season, and people are gonna brag about how juicy your roast was. Especially this roast. This is a shoulder clod, so any kind of shoulder meat like this, you definitely want to keep that moisture in. Into the oven, 325 degrees until nice and tender. All right, in the oven we go. And when I say it's a little tender, we're gonna probe that right through the wrapper and I'm gonna probe it with a probe, but I can feel the tenderness of this. You want it to go right through. You want it to glide through. Let's close the oven. I'll see you back here. Don't go anywhere. All right, we got that roast off the cooker into the oven, and along with this dish goes a spicy, beautiful corn dish. Let's show you how to get it done. So this is a dish that's fun, easy, and beautiful around the holiday time. It offers a lot of colors. So right here we have some corn. This is corn on the cob. We chopped it up. We got bell pepper here. I'll show you how we did it. We took the corn, very simple. I'm gonna take off the end of this because it's not very mature yet, but just take it, chop down, right to the end, and now you have all your corn chopped up. So in the basket it goes. Here's our bell pepper, just slice down the sides, and that's it. And I'm just in big pieces. You don't have to worry about how this is gonna look. Just make it real rustic, and it presents beautiful. See, that's it. Just take that like that, and just big chunks, just like that. You can even do a couple at a time. It's just a really great dish to present on the table, as you'll see. We're using avocado oil to get this cooked up, and it's gonna hold up to a lot of high heat, and just make the dish yours. So if you don't like anything that I'm putting out, just use me as a guide and make the entire dish yours. All right, so along with this dish go some jalapenos. So this is what I'm putting in, a whole lot of them. I'm just gonna give this a mix. See how gorgeous the colors are already? We got some garlic here. Now how I sliced the garlic, I took my garlic right in half, just like that. Chopped off my little woodies on the ends, and then right in half. And that's it. All right, we're gonna meet you back here and show you how to cook all this up, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, our roast is now out of the oven. We prepped that corn, that spicy corn, and it's awaiting cooking. While we're doing that, we're making some domino potatoes for you. Let's get it done. So for this dish, you're gonna need some potatoes. Any potato will do. I just happen to be using the Idaho potato. It's peeled, it's cleaned, and I cut some up and I got them here in the bucket. And in just a second, I'm gonna show you how I cut them up. Before we do that, we're gonna show you the ingredients that are gonna go on these. This is some rosemary. So I'm gonna take my rosemary, into my chopper it goes. I just peeled it fresh, right off the stem. I got some garlic, right in. Make the amount yours. This is avocado oil, and I'm going in with a good amount. Just like that. Let's chop it. All right, there we go. This is what it should look like. Don't worry, they all didn't chop up. Here's our potatoes. I chopped off the end, just like that. Now, these are gonna get roasted. This is the pieces that you need. And that's the domino effect of the potato, just like that. So, what I did was put them in a big basket, just like that. We're gonna bring our mixture in. We're gonna dump it in. Now ratio it out, how many potatoes you need per pan. So I'm just gonna hit those with a little rub here. This is the same rub we used on the roast. It's garlic powder, onion powder, paprika. It's a dynamite blend. And you can smell this already. It smells outstanding. All right, so now, get them all mixed up good. Now the nice part about this is that you can let the potatoes sit out for a while. In other words, you let them sit out, they're gonna turn a little yellowish on you. But when you mix them with the colors like this, you don't have to worry about it because you're taking care of that. You're making them look pretty as you go along. So what I do is just put them into the pan like this. I'm gonna line them up and have a domino effect. That's what you want to do, just layer them right down. And just keep going around in a circle until you have that pan full. And when we do that, we'll meet you back here and get them into the oven with you. So stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, we got these potatoes all lined up. We got our oven running at 425 degrees on convection. Let's show you how to finish these up. All right, so they're nice and lined up. First thing we're gonna do is hit them with just a little bit more oil because we want these guys nice and crispy. So don't skimp on the oil. Avocado oil I'm using. You could use olive oil if you like. Just no vegetable oils or seed oils. And you can if you want, but they're extremely bad for you. Pretzel salt. Going over the top with some pretzel salt. That's right. It's going to give a beautiful bite on here. And don't skimp on the salt. This is a dish that you have to hit it hard with the salt. So right in with the pretzel salt. Just like that. Doesn't that look pretty already? Followed by a little bit of dry oregano. Just for that little extra flair in there. There it is. I'm even going to hit this with just a little bit more salt because they're overlapping and you want to make sure that salt is on there. That's it. All right, in the oven we go. Let's do it. We're running 400 on convection. See you back here. Don't go anywhere. All right, let's cook some veggies. All right, so we got our garlic. That's in the avocado oil. These are all our veggies. Go right in. High heat. That's what you want. You guys can just stir it over if you like that. We'll meet you back here. Don't go anywhere. All right, we're just about done with these guys. And they're looking right. I think that's it. We're done. I'm gonna bring this inside. We're gonna plate it up in a bowl. Pull those potatoes and we'll meet you on the chopping block. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right. Time to pull this. Look at those guys. They're looking right. On the chopping block we go. All right, here we are on the chopping block of season 7, chuck roast. Let's show you what we got. So we're gonna put this off to the side. Now we need to get this onto the bench. That's what the gloves are for. So I took off all the rope and I basted it. All right. We'll let it drain good, and it's hot. Now I only let this rest for about a half hour. That's it. Now I'm gonna cut into this, and I'm just gonna start with the end pieces because those happen to be my favorite. So let's go to this end right here. And look how tender this is. See that? I mean, this is beautiful. Let's go to this end. I'm just gonna cut down on here. And just look how that cuts. I mean, this roast is just falling apart. Tender, juicy. And look at this. That's a chuck for you. All right, what I'm gonna do is get organized and then I'm gonna plate up the right way. But I gotta situate because I got so much stuff around here that I need to get situated. So we'll meet you guys right back here. Now I'm not gonna cut this down the middle because it's still absolutely hot. But I'll meet you back here in 2 seconds. Don't go anywhere. All right, we are back on season 7's chopping block. Let's show you what we got. I know you saw that roast before. We're showing you it again. That's a lot of meat. And we didn't even really get into it. And that's what we took off of there. And take a look at those veggies. They're looking beautiful. And those potatoes. You see how that salt didn't melt in? That's pretzel salt for you. It looks pretty on there. All right, let's get into it. Now we're gonna grab a plate and we're gonna get a nice chunk of this meat on here. Just like that. I'm even gonna put a couple of pieces on this plate because we are big eaters in this house and there's no jiving. All right, let's get some veggies on here. Got nice corn. See how I say this just looks pretty for the holidays? Get some oranges in there. Nice orange peppers. And that garlic. Okay. And let's go for those potatoes. I'm just gonna go from here. And they're lined up beautifully. Get a couple more in there. There we go. Let's get a little dollop of sour cream on top of those potatoes. Followed by a few chives. Those are right on top of there. This is a plate I grew up on. I'm just going to get a little bit of that juice in here. Just like that. Maybe a little bit more. And there it is. I'm going to try that shoulder clot. That just cuts like butter. I mean, you don't even need a knife. See that? You know, I have eaten a lot of briskets in my time. I've also eaten a lot of shoulder meat in my time. If I had a choice between both of them, I would definitely say the shoulder clot is much better than a brisket. This you can have for days. There's very little fat on it. It's lean, it's tender, it's got all that flavor, it's got different cuts of meats inside of it. It's just a wonderful piece of meat to have. You might pay a little bit more money for it nowadays, but there's a lot less waste on it than a brisket. I feel by the time you finish trimming off a brisket, if you are trimming a brisket, which I don't, by the time you trim it, cut it down to nothing, there's nothing left. This thing, you don't even have to trim it all. Just go straight onto the cooker with it and you got 100% pure meat. Outstanding dish. All right, let's try those potatoes. By far, one of my favorite ways to have potatoes. The pretzel salt on that really makes a difference. You can feel that little bite against your teeth. It gives a different saltiness to that potato. Their potatoes are seasoned perfectly and they look beautiful in that pan. Perfect for the holidays. All right, last but not least, let's get a hold of that corn. All right, I'm gonna try a little veg on the side. Take a piece of corn. How do you go wrong with meat and potatoes? You cannot. That corn just gives it a whole other element to the other side of this dish. The corn's crunchy, the vegetables are full of color, full of flavor, not too much heat. You would think there was a lot of heat in that jalapeno, but we chose one and we tasted it. Always taste your jalapenos. You want to get the right heat amount in there. You don't want something too cool and you don't want something too hot. So always taste your jalapenos so this way the dish comes out perfect. It's an excellent combo. One last thing I want to show you. You got to see this piece of meat. Take a look at this. I'm going to take this piece of meat and put it on the bench. I want you to see something. Look at this. I mean, that just shreds apart. See this? I mean, how do you go wrong with that? And look how lean it looks. You see what I mean? You're not going to get anything that lean in a brisket. I mean, you could put this on tacos and do a whole lot of different things with it. It's just a phenomenal piece of meat. All right, we're going to get organized and we're going to meet you guys right back here. So stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, and there it is. One beautiful chuck roast. And we cooked that right on a kettle grill. We took that roast and parked it right on side of some gorgeous potatoes, sour cream, chives. We gave you delicious corn, lots of vegetables, garlic, bell peppers. Ideas for the holidays. I hope you enjoyed this one. Hope you use some of these ideas. Like always, we thank you guys. Always love having you. And with no further ado, gotta get that last Pitmaster taste there.